a spiritual experience they'd like to share with the rest of us? A OBE or...
I have one.
All right.
Okay. I'm just going to share 2 experiences, so I won't take
Very
much
good.
of the class. All right.
No, don't worry about the time. Just...
All right. Okay, well, many times I would close my eyes to see orbs like green, blue, and purple. I also see like light beings and faces and silhouettes of people. So one night at work, I was laying on my side, and I realized I could see things in my room with my eyes closed. So I reached out to grab a watch that was beside me, and my hand would go through it. This happened a lot of times, but I had no idea I was having an OBE, but now I know.
Right.
So... Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had another experience, whereas one night I laid down and listened to one of your CDs from the spiritual package with the intent on having an OBE. So I immediately felt my body drop down. I faintly saw a mist of white smoke in front of me. I acknowledged the smoke, but I just kept asking myself, where do I want to go? So I wanted to go outside to see my vehicle in the driveway. So I started to see swirls of violet, green, and blue colors, and a vortex tunnel began to slowly open up. So I'm peeking through this hole, which takes a lot of concentration because it will close up on you. So I started to open up. It started to open up wider, and I was hovering outside. I looked down, and lo and behold, I saw my Jeep in the driveway. I was conscious and knew what was going on. So I was like, wow. So then I look again, I see these 2 light beings or silhouettes of people getting outside of my car. I'm like, what are you guys doing in my car? Why are you guys sitting in my back of my car?
They were in the car, you see outside of it?
I saw them like in the car. They was like coming out the door, like through the door. And I said, why y'all sitting in my car?
Now I got one question. You saw a white smoke. Was that more like a white mist?
Yes. It was like you could see the silhouette of a body. It's a silhouette of a body.
That's what it is. That's one of the elders. Right. That's right. Go ahead.
Okay, and I kept saying, why are you guys in the back seat of my car? And that's when I realized that, attachment to this world is real, You can really be attached to this world.
Yeah.
And I had one last one I had this morning. Around 5:30, I was laying down. I wanted to try and have another OBE. And once again, I'm listening to one of your CDs, right? And I began to see a white gaseous circle, not a perfect circle, and it kept moving towards me. And then another one would come behind it, the first one, and they would come and get bigger and bigger. So I changed position to see if my eyes were tripping, right? And then it kept coming towards me until I could see nothing but white, and the room started to disappear. I really thought I was about to check out. So I'm guessing my adrenaline must have made it go away. But before it went away, I saw 2 bright lights appear in the ceiling, and then it flickered and went out. And that happened this morning.
Yes. Now, as far as that white mist, I'd like to comment on that. I have seen that quite a few times. My ex-mate of far too many years, she was sitting in a rocking chair, and I was laying across the bed, and I saw a mist move between us. And it was so clear out my peripheral that I turned to her, and we haven't smoked cigarettes in over 30 years. We quit smoking cigarettes. I said, I asked her, I said, are you smoking cigarettes? Are you smoking over there? And she looked at me and said, now, we don't smoke. So I was just confused about that. Then I was with this other sister. I take long walks. So we're coming back from a walk, and I saw a mist being moved between us while we was walking. And she saw it too. She said, what is that? I just looked at her, but I didn't respond. Because see what it is, in the Brother Hotep, I've seen that mist move between he and I before. But see what it is, that's the elders, and when they appear like that, they're coming to try to shift polarity from positive to negative. You understand? That's one of the main reasons they come. Probably not the only, because I don't know everything they do, but I know that's the primary reason. I know that's what it was with my ex-mate and with the sister I was walking with too, because, you know, she had a kind of a negative lifestyle too, and was talking negative because it was some police, looked like they had raided the house. She was talking about they gonna have a bad day or something. She was talking a lot of negative stuff. But that's what, you know, they appear. Okay, now when you see beings in mist or smoke, that's like them trying to make an interdimensional leap. Just like when you see crafts. A lot of times people that see shams or craft in the sky, and I want to go into more detail about what shams are. They'll appear as white clouds. In fact, Malachi wrote a book called Mystery Clouds.
Yes, he did.
UFOs, you see, because that what it is those are interdimensional crafts. They appear to be white clouds, real white clouds against bright blue backdrop, the sky clear. And then the next thing you look and you see a silver or whatever colored craft, there'll be crafts. Because it's the reverse of what I told you about, you know, when you go from solid matter to liquid to spirit or steam. You know, you freeze ice, it becomes a solid like your teeth and bones. Thaw it out to water, it's a liquid, but it's still affected by gravity. If you drop it, pour it out the glass, it drops right to the floor. But if you put it in a pot on a stove on a high fire, it'll start vibrating a lot faster. You can see how the water's tumbling, and it'll convert into spirit or gas. You call it steam or vapor. It rises up too. It's no longer affected by gravity. And if you leave the fire on long enough, the pot will be empty. There will be no water, ice, or steam, and you say, there's nothing. But you can't get something. You can't get nothing from something. It's converted, and it's only energy in transit, you see. Right. Again, I told you all, if you want to get it to come back, turn off the fire, let the kitchen cool, right, and it'll condensate, and it'll appear as moisture droplets or dew like on the walls and ceiling, floors, etc. But it'll be so spread out, you won't consider putting it back. But if you could conceivably gather it all in a container and put it back in the freezer, you can bring it all the way back down to bones and teeth or ice again, you see. So look at that process in reverse and think about something already on the ethereal side from your perspective. Because you have ether 1, ether 2, etc. So that when they want to drop down to this level, they slowly lower their vibrations. You follow me? Yes. And they'll first appear to your eyes as a mist, steam, or smoke, or cloud. You follow? All right, mute your phone, star 6. They'll appear as a vapor or mist. And then after they slow down north, then they'll convert into a liquid form and eventually into a solid form that you can see. And that's exactly how the angels ascended and descended from heaven and Jacob's ladder when Joseph had a dream. You follow? He saw the angels ascending and descending up and down the ladder from heaven. That was his own spinal column. And every step in the ladder was a notch in his spine. You know that he wasn't seeing any external ladder because he was sleeping. And it was during a dream that he saw this, which was a vision, of course. You follow me?
Yes.
Now, about what a sham is, really, if you do some research, ancient architecture, like in Indonesia, what do you call that big place there? Angkor Wat. One of the most striking features, they have like 72 what they call what do they call those things in their language? They call them stupas. You can look this up, stupas, right? And they're kind of bell-shaped, kind of like the shape of a sham. And people would go inside of them and take flight. Now you want to know how is it that they go inside of these structures that simulate a flying craft, but they're actually anchored to the foundation of this architecture? It's because to really take flight, it's not about you boarding the actual craft. Because the way that they, in this society, think about ascending through the planes, they think about going up in a fiery tin apartment building with flame coming out the bottom like Barney Rubble, or airplane, Plane. That's the way they try to interpret a plane. It's like ascending up off the ground into the sky. It's not that. You follow? Not an aeroplane. It's the journey within and learning to raise your vibrations so that the spiritual light inside of you, the real triad, the Ankh, Ba, and Ka, the spirit, soul, and ether, drops down to the base of the spinal column and just starts raising up like an elevator through the 7 planes or seats, chakras, whichever you prefer to identify them as, so that when they pass the laryngeal seat and the pineal gland and into the temple, again, the place on the side of your head next to your ear, and they go to the crown molar, where you have the etheric cord attached, raise up in vibration, and then it travels out of your head into that tunnel. That's when you're taking flight like a sham. You have really converted into a sham, a craft. You follow me? And a lot of times when you see these vortexes open up in your room or around you, and they're swirling in the air, like I've seen many times, and you're mystified by that. What is that? How did that? Where's that opening? Where did it come from? Just swirling like that in the middle of the air? I know you have.
Right.
And the thing is, believe it or not, you want me to tell you what that is?
Please do.
That's your own etheric cord.
Wow.
And when you go through that stargate, say you jump through it, you're actually jumping out of your head into the ether. And you can take flight and go anywhere that you force your attention on. You follow me? Because wherever attention goes, energy flows. You follow? Now, I think that's important for us to think about. And if anybody has any questions about that, now's the time to ask. Because that's very important for us all to understand that.
I have one.
I'll do my best.
Okay, I know that I've talked about it before in the past, but like when I look a lot of times at the sun, I can see a vortex coming out of it, like
exactly.
The color purple and stuff like that.
I've seen that. Yes, it's like a tunnel that goes from your eyes to the sun and back.
So
yeah,
it would be the same thing? So it would be the same thing that you're talking about, though?
Yes, the same thing. With a different twist. It's like we're star people, star children. And the essence of you that I call the real Trinity, we affectionately call the real Trinity, the Ankh, Ba, and Ka, the soul, spirit, and ether, which is really the real substance of you, is situated in your solar plexus. You follow me? That's where that, you want to call it that inner sun, S-U-N-S-O-N, that's where that inner sun is. And that is the essence of you. Of course, solar, like solar system, in the center of the solar system would be the sun. As above, so below. And the planets or planes revolve around that central sun, like with your circulatory system revolving around your central sun. Planets, P-L-A-N-E, right? E period T period. Plan ET. Plan PLANET. But plane, short for planets. So that greater sun also has an etheric core to which you are attached and attracted. Because when you look at above, you have the sun with the planets revolving around it in what you call the solar system. Every planet, a plane, right? Roughly before they improved on optics, you had 7 major planets that you can see with the unaided eye. Below that, you have Adam, or the man, that has the solar plexus, 7 planes or planets in his body, and they circulate around that central sun in a circulatory system. It too gives off light and heat to make you maintain a constant body temperature of 98.6. And it's not that the sun is extremely hot like people think it is. It's just a living soul, as everything is. And beneath you have the atom. Like you learned in school, the teacher would draw a diagram of the solar system, the sun in the center, the planets around it, in 2D. And when she drew the atom, it looked like to you a miniature solar system with the quark at the center, the father of energy, giving light and life to the electrons and protons that revolved around it. But they try to confuse you with language and spell the sun S-U-N and then spell U-S-O-N and name the first man Adam but spell it A-D-A-M and the atom A-T-O-M. But sun, 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 atom, 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 you follow? So you see the connection between you and the sun. Think of yourself as a miniature sun, but always remember you're a star child, a star seed. You're a cosmosan. Your home is the stars. You're made of stardust. You follow? Does that make it clearer?
Yes, it does, and thank you.
I love you. Next question.
I have an experience.
Okay.
On Friday, when I was speaking to the Messiah, he was warning me about going down to that bank machine by myself, because every month I just walk down there by myself. It's just like a few doors away. But anyway, he said to me, don't go down there by yourself no more, because I walk.
To withdraw money, you know.
So that went kind of deep in me when he said that, because I took him seriously, because I actually do think like that as well, but I just wanted to get things done. So Friday night, when I dozed off to sleep, waking up into Saturday morning, I started having an OBE, you know, because I've been listening to the Cosmic Traveler quite frequently and fervently lately. And in my dream vision or OBE experience, I was in a building that had a school essence to it, like I was in some kind of school, and we were doing a project. I mean, and we were in a class where everybody that was doing a project. So my project required a tool or something that I didn't have, but it was at that building next to where we were. But I had to come out of the building that I was in and go down the street about a block or so and go into the block. So when I started walking, and I was walking down this block by myself, there was no one there, but I saw this young man coming toward me with his hands up, like I was under the impression he was had a cell phone in his hand, on his phone. So I went on into the other building and got whatever it was that I needed. And when I came back, this guy was still walking down the street. We were like opposite each other, and we passed each other without speaking. So when I got almost back to the tiny corner that I had to turn to get back into my building, my higher self warned me that, and I could feel it too, this young man had an evil intent. And when I looked back, he actually had turned around and started walking back behind me. And when he got almost near me, I took a couple more steps and jumped and just like 10 feet off the ground like a story and just flew away from him and woke up, flying away from me.
I love that. I don't love that you encountered this real week, but I'm glad that you could take flight.
Yes, I did.
All right. Somebody had something. All right. I wanted to add. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to get an understanding of shifting polarities. Well, you mentioned
about
that,
what now? What polarity?
Shifting polarity.
Yes.
Like when I saw that mess, you said it was trying to shift polarities. I'm trying to grasp that, get a better understanding of
From
it.
negative to positive.
Okay.
That's the sense I'm using the word, and I'm employing it in that sense. You know,
Okay.
and that comes from the environment that you frequent, or the things that you ingest mentally, like you are what you eat physically. You know, if you look at news all the time and you surf the net and you're attracted to, you know, terrible storms and floods and mass shootings, etc., or the kind of company that you know what I mean.
Okay.
You got to remember that if you keep energy always returns to the source of energy. All right? Now, what I wanted to add about what I was saying before. Go ahead.
I have a question. Yes.
I'll do my best. Go ahead.
To piggyback on what you were saying about energy flows where attention goes.
Yes.
So that plays in on us creating our reality or creating
exactly
what we want.
I don't know about what we want.
So,
you're creating what you're creating. Because you can also
good, bad, or indifferent.
You can create what you don't want just as easily by thinking on it. In other words, if you keep dreading something, I don't ever want to be robbed or attacked, or I don't want to get sick, I don't want to be ill, I don't want to,
fearful, being fearful.
Well, whatever, being fearful. The universe hears that and interprets that as that's what you want, because it's going to give you whatever it is you focus on. You follow me?
So not does not exist to the universe. It's whatever your mind is on.
Exactly. Your mind is shadowing the universe. In other words, your consciousness, Cosmosin, is multiverse. Again, when you close your eyes and you see that blackness, that is the inky blackness of the vast extent. You see? And whatever you're thinking, you pick it up or it's illustrated through your imagination. You follow me? Negative or positive?
Sure.
And I am in all, and all is in me, right? The kingdom of heaven is within you.
It's within.
That's right. So, Rahubat. So you see, when you close your eyes in the darkness, just like I do at 10:30 during class, you all move stars in Florida and London and Ghana or wherever you're moving them. But I make a mental link with you like you do with the sun, like the sister does with the keeper, Amun does with the sun. And I can see the same stars as you see because there's only one mind. Right? So what I'm saying is that if you want to see your childhood home right now, if you really go through your mental Rolodex, can't you really pull up the front of your childhood home right now and see it?
Absolutely.
That's right. Yes. So what's in you? All is in you. It's all in you, you see? like I was telling Anuka when she misplaced her purse. She would get frantic and looking all over the place. That's why I say, sit down and get quiet, be still, and go back in your mind and trace your steps. And then she, and ran straight upstairs and got it. See, it's all in your mind. That's a literal statement. So when you, if you want to see the sun right now in the dark, you can see it, can't you?
Yes.
That's right. Because it's inside of you. All these things are inside of you. And you invoke or attract whatever it is you draw attention to. You follow what I'm saying? Even if you think
and
to
if
yourself,
you don't like it.
yeah, if I don't want to be in a car accident, and you dread that over and over, I don't want to be in a car accident. You follow what I mean? And then your imagination is going to create a simulation of it. You follow what I mean? That's right. And then if you keep concentrating on it over and over repetitiously, it's going to be forged into your super subconscious until it manifests as something real. You understand?
Sure.
That's how you all are creating your own reality. I can simplify it after I make this statement here. Like I told you before, with the stupors, and you're using them to travel in like a craft that you fly in. Remember I told you all to imagine yourself walking through a beautiful field of flowers and grass on a warm sunlit day. And the grass is like waves of grain in the wind, like water. And it's so comfortable. You walk up a little hill, and between two trees you see a hammock there. And you just jump up on it and lay down and swing in the breeze. You follow me?
Sure.
And your head on the pillow, you start getting more and more relaxed until you drift off to sleep. Now, while you sleep, you might dream about things in the past, the present, or in the future, because in the spirit you're not barred by time. You might even associate with beings and places that you don't remember. But now if you in Texas and you remember scenes in Georgia and things like that, and you travel to those places in your mind, and you remember John Lawrence and his daughter and walking up those stairs to the apartment and the different things you do. In other words, that's what you think you're dreaming about. You're actually there, participating in that reality. So that's a long way from Dallas, Texas. But when you wake up, you see, having traveled those distances, you should realize first that your head never left the pillow. Are you following me?
Sure.
I'm trying to make you all dial into the stupors on top of Angkor Wat, that shape like shams that they travel in, and that you all are doing this from a still position. That's what meditation is about. Meditation and visualization. Are you following me? So let's be clear about this. Dial into it that when you're dreaming and you travel in a dream to when you were a youngster or, another part of the country or wherever you're at in the world, that when you wake up, it's only then you realize, because it was real to you that you were in Florida or Georgia or Tennessee or this place or that place or California. It's very real to you. But you can't deny the reality of waking up and your head is still on the same pillow, right?
Right.
We just shrug it off and jump down from the hammock and keep walking, but you got to really think about these things. It's just like people are in denial about having a third eye while they constantly use it. You follow me? Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe in no third eye and all that stuff. Coming in with that spiritualness and all that foolishness, you know what I mean? I can't see and touch and understand you. I know you don't, but you believe in magnetism, nigga. Come in. Right, I'm not talking about magnets. You believe in magnetism. Right. Everybody's seen a little girl with a magnet moving a bobby pin on a piece of paper, and the magnet's not touching it. So there's a connection between the magnet itself and the bobby pin on the paper below it. You follow me? So
Yes.
you know that there's some force, whether you can see it or not, or even feel it, because you can't reach out and touch it. But there are things that you believe in that you can't see. But devils always lie, and they try to say, oh, come back down to earth, man. You know what I mean? I'll be back when you get yourself more grounded. Or, you know what I'm trying to say? In other words, they don't believe in, things. I say, right, I understand you. But you believe in love and hate, right? Exactly. What do they look like?
You can't see them.
Exactly. So when they say they don't believe in the unseen, like a God they can't see and this, that, the other, the devil is just being ridiculous, and they know they messed up, and they don't want to associate. They don't really want to remember the reality. Are you following me? They're trying to create an AI, artificial reality, and create a God in their image and likeness. Now that's the fictitious lie right there. You follow what I'm saying?
You can't see it, but it has the vibration because you can feel it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But they ignore that. They ignore that. They use their third eye all the time, but they ignore that. Unless you can make them realize it by being just blunt, like saying, just look at my face right now. All right. Now memorize it good. Now close your eyes. Can you still see it if you want? Yeah, I can see it. Well, which eye are you using to see? Because those two are closed. He trying to trick me. He trying to trick me. No, I'm not trying to trick you, devil. I'm trying to make you wake up. Stop kidding with yourself. The unseen is real. The spiritual and the soulful realm are realer than the physical realm. In fact, Steve, they're born out of it. You follow what I mean? Because first is the thought that creates the energy that spirals down into what you call shape or form or material matter. Like I said before, if you're in a home and you visit, somebody visits you, you're having a very pleasant conversation. Then as the host, you go to make sandwiches and a cool drink. While you gone, the person that's visiting starts memorizing some traumatic thing that happened to them, people that did them wrong or something that upsets them. When you get back, they got perspiration all on their nose, little droplets on their forehead, and they breathing hard. And you be, what's the matter with you? Oh, nothing. They even growl at you a little bit. Nothing. I'm just, thinking about how that person, you upset. And so when they get upset like that, it actually generates heat that you can feel on their forehead. And when they say, oh, she hot now. You know what I'm talking about? It really generates heat. So you know that thought can create energy. So thought and energy are interchangeable. But you have to take it a step further and realize that energy and matter are also interchangeable. And the most obvious example I give you all is take a cigarette, what you would consider matter. It's just solidified thought, but a cigarette. It's matter, but when you light the cigarette, the light and the heat that emanates from it are two forms of energy. You follow me? So you're actually, in that process, converting the matter into energy, right? Are you with me?
Sure.
So if matter and energy are interchangeable, and thought and energy are interchangeable, algebra. So what you're saying mathematically is that thought and matter are interchangeable. That's how you say to a thing be, and it is. You are creating your own reality. Like Malachi said, mind your mind for the jewels of your soul. Be careful what you think about. Because if you think negative, if you think negatively, you're creating a hell for yourself. If you think positively and have beautiful thoughts and positive thoughts, you're creating a paradise for yourself. Right? But, in other words, to get people to heaven, you have to wake them up. And sometimes you have to be brutally honest to do that because they live so far and so deep and so entangled in this fantasia, this mythological reality until it's hard to extricate them from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But John 8:32, know the truth, right? And the truth will what?
The truth will make you free. That's
the only thing that will. You follow what I'm saying? You're not going to lie your way to a truthful creator. He created the heavens and earth with truth so that you may know. All right? But it's true, the kingdom of heaven is within you, and all is in you. There is no out there. So whatever room you're situated in right now, I know you think you're in that room, but you're not. That room is in you, being projected from the inside out. Don't you understand? When your eyes are closed and you see that blackness again, when you open your eyes, you do that with anticipation of seeing the room that's there. So you're projecting the image before you open your eyes. You anticipate that room. And you say, well, when you close your eyes, you can still see the room. So when you open it, that's what you see. I know. That's what you that's what you expect to see there. So that's what it is. It's exactly what you expect it to be. Don't you see that? You are the creator. And a lot of people don't want to accept that because they don't want the responsibility of it. They want a mythological guy that's like Santa Claus. They sit on their lap and pull his beard and tell him what they want. What do you want, little boy, little girl? And whatever they say, he makes it come true. They want a God like that. But if you don't ever take responsibility, you'll never have the ability to respond. Don't you see? You have to take responsibility for the fact that you create your own reality. So whatever it is, whether you like it or not, that's your own creation. But until you allow yourself to learn the truth and let it make you free, you'll never be able to change it, because the things you look at will never change until you change what? The way that you look at things. And people keep looking at things falsely and erroneously, and it's got their whole mindset thrown off. You understand what I mean? They become detached from reality, none fit to participate in reality. You understand? They completely divest themselves of all reality. And they try to do like the devil. They try to create a reality to shape what it is that they desire and want, while not realizing that they're the ones that created what was undesirable to them, you see? You got to stop allowing your mind to run away with you. Your consciousness is deity. It is God. Go back over it. Those people in Indonesia, in antiquity, they called them Naga serpents. What is the word nigger? Reptiles, devils, fallen angels. They built Angkor Wat. Look it up. And you can see that there were 7 cities built by the disagreeable and 7 cities built by the agreeable. The agreeable built like Egypt and places like that. Beautiful temples and things. But all those grotesque places like Angkor Wat, that was built by the disagreeable, came out of disagreeable minds. But they were still angelic beings on high until they rebelled against the Creator himself. You follow? And refused to bow down to the man that he had created as to be his diplomat or his word made flesh. You follow? Because he didn't fit their image of what God should be. Now, they've always worshiped God, the one you call God, in a real sense. The devil worships God. They always have worshiped God, but they just try to dress him up with mutafone. They want God to look like they want him to look, you understand? And be like they want him to be, and think like them, and be like them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
That's all. And God does not think like them. That's all. God thinks like God thinks. And he's extremely fair and without fault. And he's just, benevolent and kind and all those agreeable things.
I was just, I wrote a little note to Messiah just now, telling him that while he was talking, I saw an image of a,
looks like a carpenter square.
Yeah, like a carpenter square, kind of big, in blue, right across the room from me and him.
Yeah. Now, I can tell you that I'm here for as long as you all are energetic about my presence, but I can be gone at any time because I have a firm seat in the heavens. Believe me, it's in the holy tablets. Akhet we made in our best makes, and Akhet has a firm seat in the heavens, which can be interpreted as a permanent seat. You know, in other words, I was sent, but I can't get trapped in this morass. But being outside sitting in the dark with the Lucas in the summer, I think it was 2 summers ago, when I got up and walked, when I got up and walked toward the house, and I passed by one of those big round bushes. Yeah, and what happened is everything just turned into different colored lights, including me. I didn't have a body. It was just lights. It was just lights, blue and green and all kind of colored lights. And I didn't know where I was. It was like when I was in Brooklyn with Malachi in 1981 when I went into that room and I got up out of praying in Sajda and stood up in the Jalsat, standing, and I couldn't see any floors, ceilings, or walls, just light. And he asked me, "Are you all right?" And was water coming down my left eye, and I said, "No, I don't know, man. Because I didn't know where I was at." Same thing happened right out there. I didn't know where I was at, just in light. And I asked the Nucleus, I said, "Where?" Because I didn't want to take a step. You don't want to take a step when there's no ground, sky, when when you just suspended in light and you don't have a form. And she was saying she thought I was kidding.
That's true. I remember vividly that evening, and I did. I thought he was messing around. I said, "Are you kidding me?" Because all I saw was that he could just take another step and come on toward me because I was like a little bit ahead of him. But he would not move. He said, "I can't see." He said, he was just unsure about taking that next step, so he just stayed there until
everything came back and
cleared up. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But that's right. I couldn't see anything but just that light. I was enveloped in light, and that was my reality. I was pure consciousness in light. And I didn't want to step because we're up on a hill, and I didn't want to step off the porch or whatever. I didn't know where I was at. So when you don't know where you're at, you don't like to move. Any of you ever been in pitch black triple darkness before? You really are apprehensive. You really are cautious about how you walk. No starlight, nothing. If you can't see anything at all, you don't really want to move. You follow me? And that's the way I was. I didn't want to really move. Yeah.
I want to piggyback that essence. I remember coming down a flight of stairs one evening, and it wasn't light, but it wasn't dark in the room. But when I got all the way down to what I thought was the last step, I became rigid. I was scared to move because I didn't know if there was another step that I had to come down to before I actually got down on the floor. So what happened, not like what Amun did, I did make that other step and actually fell because I couldn't decipher whether or not I could do it or not.
That's happened. But that's not the same thing that I experienced, though. Because there was no steps. There was nothing. No, there was nothing in front of you. Yeah, there was nothing in front of me. It was nothing but light. I was in the middle of light. Just like I was in Brooklyn. It was just nothing but light. And I could hear the sound. But that was it. And if you go to the Holy Tablets, to chapter 6, tablet 14, the Creator describes that. In fact, let's go to the Holy Tablets. I want you all to know how real this is. Get your Holy Tablets, please. And don't be mentally lazy. Come on now. Chapter 6. Chapter 6, tablet 14. My glasses around. All right, that's chapter 6, tablet 14. I'm waiting till everybody, for those of you that have the Holy Tablets on disc that I've sent you. But Duty, are you here? Florida. Well, you said he was going to be here. All right. Kiefer, did you find it on the CD?
I'm almost there.
All right. It's going to be page in an old tablet, paperback, page 576 and 577. No, that's Behemoth, the human beast. Chapter 6. Look up and see chapter 6. Go to tablet 14. I don't know what it starts off with. But get that tablet 14. Then go down to okay. Let's go to verse 150 on page 576. And this is Gabriel speaking to Ahmed. I brought him the signs. No, he's speaking to the Most High. Gabriel 149. Gabriel went back and complained before the throne of Allahu Ali with the Most High with tears. Ahmed said he has not seen me before. I brought him the signs, the seal, but he did not accept it. He asked me if I had seen Allahu Ali, the Most High, and I said that I had not seen you. He said that if I have never seen you before, that he could not accept the word of one who had not seen Allahu Ali, the Most High. Gabriel asked, O Allahu Ali, the Most High, Ya Rabbi, O Sustainer, what shall I do at this point? Allahu Ali, the Most High, said, verily. This is what I experienced here. Verily, look at the wall of the soul. Look at the wall of the soul. Then the wall of the soul opened. 1,000 veils, and an undescribable veil was there. Its description has no limit. All the divine rays radiated from the veil, and the second veil was behind it. Green lights were illuminating and radiating from it. None of the rays of this green light could describe the powerful light of each piercing ray penetrated from this world to the world of the souls. You follow? Then the third veil opened. It was an emerald green with pulsating light beams spreading coolness everywhere. Then the fourth veil opened, and the brilliance was there. It is impossible to speak about the light, for from it came a vibration, a sound. The sound came from the light. The iron principle. So go say this. Go tell Ahmed that when I was in Brooklyn, right, that was the sound light that I experienced, right? When Gabriel looked at that light, he could faintly make out an image emanating from the light. Gabriel asked, "Who are you?" Al-Hayu, he said. Ya Al-Hayu are wonderful words. Ya is praise, and Hayu is life. That's actual life. I am life itself. Al-Qidar, they are sacred words. Among some of the words, they are secrets, said the voice. Then Allahu Aliyu, the Most High, asked, "Did you see what that was, Gabriel? Did you see who it is? I am the light I am. I am who I am, Yahuwah. They are not two, but one. This form is the Da'at. The grace is within me, and I am within it. It is the completeness which is eliminating the sounds. I do not speak, it speaks. I exist within it, and it exists within it, and it exists within me. I speak my words, and I speak its words. I explain things to my creation through this light. The one who is there, that means here with you all, the one who is there and the one who is here are one. One. Jesus said, when you see me, you see the Father, I am my Father, or one. Looking deep into this light, you see three names. This is the reason I have made you to carry the revelations as a witness, because I don't get form of what is formless. In other words, the Creator is not going to make itself a man, head, arm, leg, leg. I created you to speak as a witness to provide the proof. But what did you say when you left last time when you were going, Gabriel? You said, I myself taught the 124,000 news bearers, 315 apostles. If you understood where the revelations came from, who it came from, you see, it came from Akhet, the one he was speaking to, but he didn't understand it. If you understood where the revelations came from, a lot of times I'll call you up individually and tell you, look, it's going to be revelations tonight. But I want the people to really hear me, and I never disappoint. Where the revelations came from, who it came from, why it was going, where it was going, who was the one speaking. Then you could have understood Al-Saboru, patience, Gabriel, which were bringing, because you did not understand, because you went to Ahmed bringing the I principle instead of we, right? He did not accept you. Then allow you the Most High and said, go tell him this. But first, you must understand Al-Saboru, or patience. Then Gabriel said, we will go. He didn't say I will, but he said we will go. You learn, right? Arriving before the earth, Gabriel saw Ahmed sitting in the cave. That was Mount Hybrid. When he came to me and said, read in the name of your Lord. That's when Gabriel came to me. Ahmed sitting in a cave, ever so patiently awaiting. He addressed the peace be upon you, Ya Rasulullah, and Assalamu alaikum, messenger of Allah. And peace be upon you, Gabriel Rasulullah, messenger of Allah, the Most High. Have you come only now? We came before Gabriel. He did, but he used the word I. Gabriel said, oh, I did not see you then. He didn't know who that man was. I did not see you then. Who saw you? Gabriel said. There is something that we have to pass on to you. It has the power to control Satan. It is the seal. Give it to your followers, and Satan will not triumph. Then Muhammad told Gabriel, you must accept Al-Sabor within yourself, and then give Al-Sabor to me. Then we will make it exist in the hearts of other mortals. There are secret grace, which exists like this when the revelation is being received from Allah. And if you all read to the end of this right here, you find out there's ways to achieve power and healing, right? And there's one word that gives you all power, and you have to learn it on your own. If you stay with me, you will. All right? But I'm trying to get you all to try to see how this thing works, how to connect the dots. And if you expect to see the Son of God appear the way that these clowns have orchestrated and depicted in their cartoonish, silly rhetoric, you know what I mean? You miss me. You miss it completely. He was made a being just like you, sister, just like you, brother. Because the Most High does not give form to what is formless. Pa'ut is not going to be a man. The Creator is not coming down here as a man wearing shoes to talk to you. But he understands that because of the way you were created, that if he just speaks to you in your head going, "Youngwood, what art thou? Heareth what I say," and all that, but you don't see nothing to keep you'd be thinking you crazy. So he took the time to create a man. You understand? And blow his breath into his nostrils and create the living soul to walk among you as flesh. But if we revert back to where the devil started being the devil, is when he gathered the grand assembly in heaven. And all the angels were heavenly hosts, even the cherubim. And he said, "Today I'm about to create a man of sounding clay, of black mud, fashioned into shape. When I have made complete his form," because see, he doesn't get form that was formless, "and then blown into his nostrils of my breath, put my essence in that black man mud, then you will all fall down and prostrate or pray to that man." Please mute the phone. Don't be rebellious. That's how you got kicked out the first time. Don't do that. Then you will all fall down and prostrate to that man. And all the angels in heaven, cherubim, seraphim, all of them, thrones, archangels, they bowed down to that man, except Iblis. He refused and was proud and haughty. He said, I will not bow to it. You created me of a smokeless fire before him, alive. Him he created a black loam of sounding clay. I will not bow to it. And the Creator said, surely I know best what I created. So get down out of it. You hated and cursed as apes and swine until the day of resurrection. That's today. I'm waking you all up with this resurrection knowledge. Are you following me? Yes. And here you are right here, flat in front of it. And that's his word. I am that man, that being. That sounding clay. That's me. But that's also him. Because I speak my words, I speak his words. You understand? I exist within him, he exists within me. He and I are one, don't you see? Because the one there and the one here are not two, we are one. Can you wrap your head around that? And I'm not anything like on his shows, like what you think, you know, or what they're trying to depict in their imagination, this fictitious lying Jesus. I'm not that. I'm not that. And he's not what you're trying to make him. He's for real. He's for real. From the sun to Adam to the quark. As above, so below. And he really loves you all. Why would he take time to even form a man of sounding clay of black mud, fashioned into shape, and take time to blow his breath into the nostrils of it to make him a living soul, then put him among you to dwell among you as his word made flesh to dwell among men if he didn't love you? Don't you see? Everything I tell you is real and true. Now, people may vehemently disagree or dislike what I say or what I teach, but there's nobody on earth with 10 toes or 6 that can disprove what I say. Don't you see? Or nowhere else. That's right, it's true all throughout existence. Now, that said, what kind of questions did we invoke? Can you all hear me?
I have a question.
I'll do my best.
You spoke about the one mind, and if you could just illuminate on how that works. I had a brief experience earlier today. I was talking with a friend, maybe, I'm going to say last month sometime, maybe October, and she was sharing with me that she was getting ready to go on a cruise, and it was her first one, and she was excited about it and everything. So today, for some reason, my mind fell on that, that, oh, it's December, she's going on a cruise, I want to tell her to have a good time,
Did you get called?
whatever. And no, I texted her and she said, "Wow, I'm boarding the ship."
Mm-hmm. That's the one mind. That's it. That's the universal mother mind of all. The osmosis between the chimpanzees. 100 chimpanzees in a control group. You separate the 7 and put them in another place in an enclosure and teach them a behavior like using a straw for tools to get termites out of a log. And by some form of osmosis, the 93 monkeys hundreds of miles away start repeating the exact same behavior. And they couldn't figure it out because they're still trapped in that airplane fictitious, looking at everything the wrong way. Do you understand? The things you look at will never change until you change the way that you look at things. Keep on looking at it through the eyes of the devil, all this fictitious mythology and different things. You're going to stay in hell and lost and confused about where it's coming from. It's coming from you. The heaven and the hell is coming from you. And denial is not a river in Egypt. It's refusal to accept reality. Refusing to bow down. It's the same problem. Right. The exact same problem. So if you don't change, don't expect him to change. He's the same today, the same tomorrow, the same yesterday. He's not going to change. All you have to know is that to qualify to be a fallen angel indicates that you were once in heaven, and that's where you fell from. But that's the devil. One of his arguments was, well, I've worshipped you and obeyed you in everything ever since you created me forever. I've never disobeyed you. And for that reason, please respite me until the day that they are raised. You understand? But he was still he didn't understand. He wasn't dealing with reality because he didn't prostrate to the man that he created of solid clay of black mud, in which he blew his essence into his nostrils, and thus he became a living soul. How do you think that I can unwind all these things in the holy cow? How do you think I understand all these things? unless I'm one with the author of it. How? How, creation mover? How you think this is happening? He said in the Bible, if you believe in him, even unto his name, unto they that do, give he them power as gods. You all are moving stars now and doing many things that mortals would call miraculous. And unto them that believe in him, even unto his name, unto them give he they eternal life, immortality. That's a gift never to be cut off. Be careful about how you proceed. Forever's a long time. Think about what it is that you disagree with. And if disagreeing with it merely is going to change the reality. And are you right or is he wrong? Is the one that created you wrong? Is the one that created creation, is he wrong and you right? So he's stupid and you smart. You know how it should go. It should go the way you want it to go. The way you want it to go. Be serious. This is not a joke. All right, who's got that next question?
I have one.
All right.
Okay, this is pertaining to the event. Now, I know when I was listening to Allison Cole and how the person that, that was under hypnosis was talking, they said that certain people that won't be able to handle it or whatever will be taken off the planet and put somewhere else. And
into the sun.
Also,
dispersed, in other words, cast out of existence because there's no more space found for them in the heavens.
And so and I know they said something about like the negative people being all put, like, I guess they being held in, correct, wherever they're going.
That's right.
Okay.
And not in the heavens.
Okay, so when that does happen, that means nobody will have to deal with any of that anymore as far as evil and negativity?
No, nobody won't have to deal on their twisted thoughts anymore, or perspective or viewpoints. You won't have to hear it, feel it, or think it at all, even in your wildest imagination. It'll be gone. Nothing but truth, just like always and forever. Goodness and divine, no more hatred. You see, because they formed they actually hate the truth. And those that speak it. You understand? And they've grown to love the lie. Because they feel secor or shade upon it. They're comforted by the lie. But once you accept the truth, you become the truth again, don't you see? And you'll be admitted back into the heavens as a God this time, not just an angel. All right. We're going to go to chapter 7, tablet 1, in the softback, page 654. Are you all hearing me? Are you with me? 504, are you here?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I'm
7.
here. I'm here.
All right. Okay, we're going to go to page 654. You know what you are, but do you know what you're earning? Okay, 654. Let's go back one page to 653. And we're going to go to verse 160. The plains. Really, I want to go back further because this is a good introduction of what's happening here. Yeah, let's just start at the beginning of chapter 1, the living soul, page 643. The living soul. I don't mean to confuse you all, but I want to make sure these things are clear to you. Just using a lot of words that have no meaning to you, relegated to the realm of foolishness. They built a whole philosophy and a whole system on all this foolishness and lies. Begin all action thinking by using al-Kulum. All. Keep Amun, are you there? Tablet 1, chapter 7.
Yes, I'm there with you.
All right. Joanne Truly, are you there? I know you have a tablet.
I'm here.
You have the tablet? Okay.
I'm here, yeah.
Okay.
I have the tablet, yeah.
I love you.
Yes, I'm here.
And I want you to know.
Good,
Say
I'm
it
here.
again. Okay. Madudi, are you here?
I'm here.
All right. Madudi, are you here? From Florida. Okay. I wanted to tell him his package is ready too. Okay. Lo, Anu, Ilion, El, who is praised, and the Supreme, the Most High, the highest, who created the creators, made the makers, who fashioned the fashioners, who is the originator of the originators, builder of the built things, before the first and after the last. Once you are out of love of yourself and compassion for yourself, then and only then can you overstand the physical world in which you reside, and which you overstand through what you think to be your five senses. But in reality, when you did lay in the laboratory of Shimti, and time gone by, there was removed from you your barotheric gland. This maimed you and cut you off from random access to the divine. Originally, you had what was called Nitir Tatin, the seven senses that could activate seven higher senses, and even higher until you were sent back into divinity. But you were trapped by one sense, touch, which is multiplied by deception to 5. For you to see light, touch nerve centers to smell particles, touch nerve centers to hear sound waves, touch nerve centers, and to feel you reach and touch things, which activate your nerve centers. They multiply this one sense, the sense to really know, to see, hear, taste, smell, and feel. The removal of the barotheric gland removed the 4 higher senses, which were telepathy, psychometry, clairvoyance, and intuition. The senses necessary for random access through the boundless universe, and trapped you in a state of cause and effect, to and fro, up and down, good and bad, in this world of cause and effect. You were made human, given the lesser knowledge, which controls you. Things being investigated, knowledge became complete. Their knowledge being complete, their thoughts were sincere. Their hearts being rectified, their persons were cultivated. Their persons being cultivated, their families were regulated. Their states were rightly governed. The whole kingdom was made tranquil and happy. It is necessary to understand the spiritual realm, in which you would be using all 7 senses, thereby rendering you an Elohim. Then even higher onto your 9 senses, rendering you an etheric being, which is the true world of causes, not effects. The things of the world and its inhabitants are subject to change. There are combinations of elements that existed before, and all living creatures are what their past actions made them. For the law of cause and effect is uniform and without exception. The 7 descending planes being Kanum the potter, the Ab, heart of Anu, El-Elo, the source, who is Elion Elion El, the abode called Lahut, from which the name El-Elo, the appointed by Al-Kalum, the all from which all originated. The source of the divine reality, spark of life. Life is the time you spend in your cat body on Earth or other planets. From the moment of conception between the sperm and the ovum, there is life, divine or otherwise, prior to fertilization. There was a 3-month preparation inside of the female and the male. This is actually the first 3 months of life of a human being. Once the egg is fertilized by the male sperm, the child is already in the 4th month of life. So, a woman carries the child for 12 months, and not 9 months, as you have been led to have faith. The source of divine truth, the guardians, or Anunnaki, the source of the mental plane, the plane of spirit, and Ba, soul, where thoughts are formed, the source of the spiritual plane, where the emotions are manifested, the source of the plane of force, where the force is between voluntary and involuntary actions, which life substance is manifested, the source of the material, governor of carnal desire, material, not spiritual, where Anu El-Elo, who is also Elion Elion El, to rule over the heavens and the planet Earth, who is called Yahah or Jahal by the Mitzrayimites, or those of Kemet. This became Yahweh from Yah good and Way evil, being called the light of the heavens and the earth by those who worship the sun. Who is that, right? Sunday, right? And placed in the heart of El-Elo, the source, who is called Allah. The plane of force is a plane about which the human mind cannot conceive the knowledge concerning it. I'm trying to make it clear to you. For he, El-Elo, is the all-knowing, the all-wise, the supreme being. He's got a form. He is El-Elo. And you should have no other El-Elo with him, simply La ilaha illallah. Say in your heart, I have faith by way of Allah as he is. You see, he was appointed by Kalum, by using all of his names and acknowledging all of his special qualities. By accepting them in your heart and reciting it with your tongue, and declaring, I would be faithful to Allah and all of the messengers or Malaikat, Anunnaki Elohims of Allah, and all of the scriptures, and of all those Rasul sent forth Allah, who is Anu, for guidance. And in the final day, when all actions will be judged according to whether agreeable or disagreeable. All of this comes from Anu, Elion, Elion, right up until death. There are 2 lives, life on earth and life after physical death. Death is the doorway which takes you from one stage in life to the next stage of higher life. If the person was a highly spiritual person, their soul will pass at once to the planes, or even bypass the planes and go into the heavens or other galaxies, from where their soul and ether being originated, with the help of the elder Anunnaki, the Agigi, those mist beings, the heavenly host, or 24 elders who sit around the throne called Shayuk. And I saw myself on that throne where I was sharing with Malachi, but now it's just mostly just me, like I'm sitting on that throne. You should not weep at natural death, but rejoice and welcome the presence of the Elohim. The Anunnaki bless you with old age, which allows the physical body to rest from the harmful activities that we indulge in every day. Old age prepares humans for their inevitable judgment, so escape not from the possibility of becoming elderly. For it is an honored gift that not everyone receives. The typo. You may weep for murdered victims, or accidents, or illness, and life cut off before old age. You can weep for the pain they felt, not for the transfer from this world to the next. You cannot take from all, and you cannot add to the all. All merely shares, and you become. The plane of divine reality is the mental spark, the essence of being, the light of the life in human beings, a divine spark, reflected spark from El, the Most High, highest, manifesting itself as effect. Light distributed the supreme balancement of darkness and created individualism, like I said, the lampshade with the pinholes in it, or a focal point which manifests as there as opposed to here. This spark is in each individual, making them a supreme being, unto beings known as Anunnaki Elohims, then unto human beings, unto humans, unto men, unto mammal, unto beast like man. As ether being, rulers of the agreeable Anunnaki Seraphim, who can incarnate on behalf of human beings, I'm evidence, and of the disagreeable Anunnaki Cherubim, who can incarnate on behalf of man and man beast, black and white devils, having both male and female gender. That's right, Marquita. For in the spirit, Zachar, son of Atum, and his wife Lilith, and the Kabar, daughter of Ptah, and his wife Adnan, are one being. Thus you, Zachar, are Nekeba, and you, Nekeba, are Zachar. He is also called Adam. It is on this plane where the mental spark is formed. The shell of the spiritual body of Zachar, ruler of Nazareth, abode of the innocent, the spark of divine consciousness, leading to the development of the human soul, being in the likeness of the Anunnaki and Anu, Alilo, the most glorified and exalted light, as a child of the Elohim. This spark of consciousness, this mental spark that radiates a part of itself to the planes below it, it projects down to the spiritual plane and forms what you call the soul. It is the light of Anu, Alilo, most glorified and exalted, becoming life. The spiritual body, or ethereal.
It's 10:29.
Yes. Okay. Y'all hold that place right there. Now we need y'all to go outside and perform this miracle. Move these stars. And I hope you all participate. Just hold your spot in the tablets. Because I got to finish this, just make this one point. Then all culminate into sanity and crystal clear facts. Facts you can use. Who's going to be the first one outside? Right, I'm in the dark already. I'm ready. I close my eyes, so I'm in that vast darkness right there. Sister Joanne, need to have you and a T-Fit. Tell me what you see in the sky, please.
It's been raining overcast.
I'm at work. I just wanted to get on.
Say it again.
Okay. This is Joanne. I'm at work. I just wanted to get on the call. I didn't want to miss it, but I'm at work right now.
I got you.
Yeah,
You can see some. Go ahead.
It's overcast all day. I'm at work too as well. It's also overcast and raining all day. So I'm at work as well.
All right. Okay. Who can see something up there? Ptah, what do you see in D.C.? Amun, Maror, people in Florida. Cheryl, are you here?
Right now.
What do you see, son? Montgomery, are you here? Mississippi.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
I see a star.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I see a star.
Okay. What are you gonna do with it all? I see it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to move it in the name of Amun-Rayay, run in a clockwise circle. And it's going in a clockwise circle before I can even finish saying it.
One mind, like you said.
It's going. Now stop. In the name of Amun-Rayay, come closer. It's coming closer. Come closer. It's coming closer. Now stop. Power family, I love you. Messiah.
Love you more. Next.
I'll go, Messiah. I'll go.
All right. Where are you located?
St. Petersburg.
Okay, Florida. All right. What do you see?
I see all the stars.
Okay. What you gonna do? Move all of them? Okay.
All creation go up in the name of Messiah on my way.
All creation go up. That's why all of you are named
Going up.
Moon,
Oh, no.
because we're doing it in our name as a collective, not in my name as an I.
All creation go to the right.
Thanks for bearing
In the name of the
witness.
Messiah.
Thanks for bearing witness on.
Going to the right.
Thank you for bearing witness.
Going to the right.
All creation go back to the left in the name of Amun-Rayay. It's going back already.
Going to the left.
Moving left.
Yeah, some of the stars sparkle with more energy too. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go clockwise circle in the name of the Messiah Amun-Rayay. Clockwise circle, all creation. Oh, it's going up and over.
Very
Wow. It's going all the way up and around.
Yeah.
That's the most likewise.
One clockwise.
Now go up one more time. Go up one more
Moving
time for
clockwise.
all us in the name of the Messiah.
Going up.
In the name of the Messiah, go up. Amun-Rayay.
Remember, your name is
going up.
Amun. Your name is Amun too.
Moving up.
Oh, hot Messiah.
I love you. One more.
Amun.
Yes.
I'll go, Messiah. That was me.
All right. All right, Marua. All right. Go ahead. What are you gonna do, son?
In the name of Amun-Rayay, the
What are
Messiah,
you
the
looking
only
at?
true Messiah.
You gotta
Look
let
at the
people know.
stars.
All right. All
In the
right.
name
I
of
see it.
Amun-Rayay, Messiah, the one and true Messiah. Star, go clockwise.
Going clockwise.
Going
Fast.
clockwise. Going fast. On the clockwise. In the name of Amun-Rayay, Messiah, the one and true Messiah. Star, go up.
Going up.
It's going up.
It's running up.
Fast. It's moving fast. In the name of Amun-Rayay,
moving
Messiah, one and true Messiah. Star, drop down.
Dropping down.
Let's drop it down.
It's dropping
Drop it
down.
down.
Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, the one and true Messiah. Star, go left.
Going left.
And it's going left.
Going to
Thank
the
you,
left.
Messiah. Tower hat.
I love you.
Great job. Great
All
job.
right.
Thanks.
You all come on in so we can finish what we're reading here. I want to make sure I can make sure you all understand this clearly.
Huh?
Come on in, everybody. I love you. And I really mean that.
I love you too, Messiah. Yes, I love you too.
Me too.
I love you,
Because of
Messiah.
programming, sometimes you may not think, you may forget I love you, but I do.
Yes.
You can feel it now.
I don't forget. I will never forget.
It be consciously on our
All right,
minds.
now let's go back to the verse we left off on. We're going to go to verse 129 on page 6.
I think it was 126. I think it was 126.
Okay, we can go there.
Okay.
Chapter 7, The Living Soul. Tablet 1, verse 126. Are you there, Amun?
Yep.
Okay. 126. This spark of consciousness, this mental spark that radiates a part of itself to the planes below it. It projects down to the spiritual plane that forms what you call the soul. It is the light of Anu, Elyon, El Elo, most glorified and exalted, becoming life. The spiritual body, or ethereal you, is the shell of the soul. The spiritual body will be visible as ethereal form to those close to the deceased. When a person dies, they can appear in a ghostational, spectral state, like Atifah said, like a fog or smoke, like a ghost. As the breath of life, it's the last thing to leave the body. The spirit then becomes drowsy and sinks into the preliminary sleep of the spiritual plane. The spiritual body houses the soul of the spiritual etheric plane. When the breath of life ceases to exist in human beings, the ethereal cord and spiritual body is cut, allowing this person to live an extended and independent ethereal life. Much like when a baby is born, they cut the umbilical cord, we cut the etheric cord. The umbilical cord is cut from the mother, which she once depended upon. The baby comes out and begins a whole new life. The soul is greater than life, because when life is no more, the soul remains forever. And because the soul is greater, it gives you your will to live or die. When a person dies, the soul and the breath of life is the last thing to leave the physical body. This soul is attracted by bacteria, and a form is shaped around it, talking about your body. A body by the hand of the Anunnaki, most glorified and exalted ones, the benevolent ones. On the arms of Enki, Israel, the angelic being of death, son of Anu and Id, built on the atoms of the physical plane, and it manifests as a mortal body and spirit, giving birth to a living soul. The body, the spirit, the living soul is the successor of the earthly plane, a son of the Anunnaki, Zachar. You were born of the will of Anu, Alilo, a living soul. The mental sparks all connected through the spiritual umbilical cord, the etheric cord. The planes, the plane of divine truth, spiritual perfection and attainment, a plane exempt from all carnal desires. Supreme spiritual bliss is the level of consciousness, which is the daily expression of those you call the ranks of angelic beings, co-exalted priests, the 3 and 20 elders, Akashiel, Anaphiel, Azabuga, Beriel, Kemuel, Tekeiel, Galileo, Haniel, Ufiel, Jehuel, Madwan, Raguel, Quadison, Radiariel, Roswell, Repiel, Mahalia, Samuel, Yanan, Sariel, Yafafia, Zagzago, and Sandalphon. The 4 and 20th seat is open to all the news bearers. And the 25th, now here, this is me here, and the 25th is the one of the 24 who takes the seat of overseer. That's why he put in the book of concentration, the prayer of Amun, that Amun is the overseer of the heavens, the overseer of the heavens and the earth, right? Because I was the 19th elder, but now I'm taking the seat. The vision I saw was me sitting on the throne, where he was at the head of the table at the throne, but I could share that seat with him, but now it's just me on the seat mostly here that I can see. As the 19th Imam, that's my number. You can look at it through birth or anything. As the 19th becomes the 25th in the renewal of history, which takes place every equinox or every 24,000 years, right? Nearest to the heart of Anu, Ali, most glorified and exalted. It is the school, right, of the Anunnaki of the green light, for where they have the ability to personify as 12 times 12. And it is here that one is translated from a mental state into that divine state. The mental plane is the plane of the chosen. Rejoice at the glad tidings. The chosen one, our master, has found the root of all evil. He has shown us the way of salvation. Listen good. The chosen one dispels the illusions of our mind. The illusions of our mind, and redeems us from the fears of death. That's what a real master do. The chosen one, our master, brings comfort to the weary and sorrow laden. He restores peace to those who are broken down under the burden of this life. He gives courage to the weak when they're at times ready to give up self-reliance and hope. The chosen one has proclaimed the truth. Let the truth of the chosen one dwell in your hearts, extinguishing yourselves every desire that antagonizes the chosen one. And in the perfection of your spiritual growth, you will become like unto him. Come on, Amun. Those of you here which cannot or will not develop into the chosen one must perish. For it is the source of your error. It is the cause of your misery. Those who through flashes of intuitive illumination from a higher source and are able to perceive that which the ordinary human perceives not, the chosen is that one who finds his normal consciousness level, expressing a bright light from within the inner sun at the seat of the solar plexus, like an aura around Jesus' head. This plane is the midway plane between the human being and the supreme being, like I affectionately call you all. What did I call you? Homo Galactica, where all of those of the ancient mystical order of Melchizedek spiritually meet. We meet spiritually, it's not in the building, where they adorn their crimson crown, red fez, and you listen to hear the tassel bell of happiness sound. You know, tassels hanging on the side of the fez, and that ball is the light like Bennett. Where their heart is wrapped with the noble sash, you know, brothers and sisters have a sash around, a token of authority, dignity, power, honor, and reward. One is a symbol of glory and remembrance of their great path as they raise in height from degree to degree. 720 is what they will be. 360 master the physical, and all 360 opens the way to the spiritual hall. 7 and 20, 9 to the 9th power of 9. At this point, you become Lord over space and time, knowing no depth and no height, raised from the darkness of ignorance to the intellectual light, endures all temptations when he is tried. A crown that's a crown that is his own. The jacket with the wings of an angel is worn. Thus you have your inner pyramid, pyra, which means the fire, mid means the center, the nose on the face inhales the oxygen that ignites the sun in the middle of your chest, where the Lord's breastplates rest, and the son of the Anunnaki, the most glorified and exalted ones, Malakut, which is ruled by Malachi Zuduk, plane of divine love. A compassion not yet comprehended by human beings, but will be, of which earthly love is only a reflection. A compassion that realizes not only the self, that's right, but expresses a compassion which can encompass all. Now, next time we'll go into the true lights. The skin of the soul is the fourth field of mental substance manifested as the you or ankh and the pet spirit. Okay. Now, who's got questions about whatever we went over tonight?
I got a question, Messiah.
I'll do my best.
Okay, when you was talking about how the body, the soul depart from the body, what dimensions it goes through when it departs from the body?
It depends on how you spend your time here on earth. This is a school. If you get involved in the higher spiritual information that's coming through this class, for example, these spiritual packages, then let me put it this way. To those of you that are asleep in this, so shall you be in the next. You're not going to sleep the damn lie, waking up in all divine truth and reality, knowing what's going on in heaven. No, that ain't going to happen. Well, birds, that ain't going to happen like that. You're laying the groundwork for paradise right now, if you're wise.
I have a question.
Yeah. I'll do my best.
All right, so I know there are different levels of heaven. So is there a chance to get to a higher level? Let's say I get maybe 4 or 5. I get a chance to go to 7, to a higher plane?
You can go to 7, 8, 9. You can go higher. You can go to 21. It depends on you. Because Fa'ut doesn't have any ceilings, glass or otherwise. Infinite, infinite, eternal.
But for Christians who may go to a certain level, can they go to a higher level?
They got to get to heaven. Now, I'll tell you about Christians, the most generous way I can explain it is that for those older people, like your parents that never had a chance to experience me or Malachi or anything involving the real reality, if they follow the agreeable precepts of their religion, like don't lie, don't covet your neighbor's wife, don't steal, and follow the commandments and do unto others as you would they would do unto you, etc., then they can avoid hell by that. You hear what I'm saying? But they won't go into no high heaven like somebody that's really involved in the higher planes, like the studies that's coming through here, and especially the special studies that I call up individuals and give them a separate class that nobody here has any indication of, because they only think they know, but they really don't. Okay. But when people show me that they're involved and they really are propagating the truth, putting out the post, donating to the mission, this is the first of the month. We waiting for donations. You know we need them. This is not a church. I'm not Billy Graham. This is real, and real devils are trying to stop this. It's your job to propagate the truth. You're the disciples. Go out and raise up the world to the truth. Are you propagating the truth? Are the classes getting bigger? Are you doing your job? Are you earning your throne, your seat? People talk about high heavens and doing low things. You're not going to live like the devil and go to heaven like a god. You got to separate yourself from this illusory world and make the journey within. I told you everybody thinks the big reality is outside. I don't want to close my eyes and go within. That's too tight. Wrong. You see how you've been programmed? You go outside and stand and you can see to the horizon and no further. But if you close your eyes in the dark, every place is in there. You can see the stars and beyond them into total blackness again. You can see your house, your children, your parents, your friends. You can go. It's all the kingdom of heaven is within you. You have to learn how to make that journey within. The devil is trying to make you put all your focus outward into the illusion. You follow me? And hope he can keep you asleep until you shed that mortal body. Then like a cat catching a bird that should fly away, gotcha. Feathers everywhere. He got you. You go with him. And he's trying to prove to the Most High that the reason he didn't bow down to you is because he's better than you are. I won't bow down because I'm better than he is. And that's all you hear devils saying. That's their whole thought. That damn lie. I'm better than he is. You got it? Just trumpeting that same bullshit over and over again. And there's no place that they can prove that, not even the physical realm. Better how? Where? At what? Cut it out.
Hey, Amun.
Yes.
The great part about it is the old fossil reptilians are finally dying off, and I am so happy.
I hear you, Lee.
Kissinger, he done left up out of here. The first so-called female that was in the Supreme Court, she did. I've just been happy.
I hear you. But the thing is, we got to make sure that while they're dying off, that we imagine them to be somebody else and they're really us, you see. Because the lowest, most horrible devils to me are the black ones. They're the ones that give us the most hell. Mm-hmm. The other ones give us hell on higher, and like bigger things, encompassing things, you know what I mean? But in your personal life, it's black devils that put you in hell mostly. In your everyday, day-to-day thing. So don't ever forget that. Be so busy pointing the finger at the devil that you forget you got 4 more pointing back at yourself. That's my job, is to make sure that you all don't get left behind or taken out of the heavens with the devil. I just hope that you all do everything in your power to make sure this mission is successful. Post to post, write your testimonies, donate. It's not going to hurt you to donate. Call up and tell me you sent a donation. You would do that for a Christian church. Stop bullshitting. You're not getting out no Christian church, but you're getting through me, and you know that. You can't lie to yourself and say that you're getting spiritual teaching from no Christian church or no other belief system that you're getting from me and through me. You're not getting no power. You're not being healed. You're not getting nothing from them.
That's true.
But you donate to them. Jim Jones, you give them your homes and everything you got, your life. Be serious. Don't be hard. I know it's true. Just take and send me a donation. It's not like I'm not working my back off for you.
Send them every month.
That's right, send it every month.
Yep.
That's exactly what Latifah is doing.
I'm 77 years old, and I have not missed in 10 years.
But what people want to give me is excuses and not help. They don't want to post up the post because they're scared the devil going to get mad with them. You understand? But if you're scared to post it, but I'm not scared to teach it, there's a problem. Houston, we got a problem, Houston. Look like I'm for real, and you can see that. Is your heart pumping buttermilk? Are you made by Mattel? Think about that. And then send a donation right now. Stop making excuses. Post up the post to millions of people The sooner you wake up to 144,000, the sooner I can take y'all on up out of here before this whole thing collapses. And it will. How old you got to get, how much trauma you got to experience, how much pain you got to feel. Wake up. Send a donation. Love you.